Sawadee and hello from Chiang Mai in northern Thailand. I'm Josh, the Thailand coordinator for Impact Teaching, and I'm here to talk about 3 of the best things about being a teacher in Thailand and 3 of the not so great things. So we've got a bit of perspective about both sides. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is one of the positives, and that is the ability you get as a teacher in Thailand to fully immerse yourself in the culture of the country. Because I've been a tourist in Thailand many times, and as you pass through, you get a cultural experience to some extent, but you will often be in touristy areas, surrounded by other tourists, meeting other tourists, and that does not give you even a quarter of the picture, less than 10%. You just get a small snapshot of Thailand. And when you're a teacher in the country, you're opened up to so much more. I won't say it's 100% because that's not possible without being fluent in the language and living here a long time. But having been a teacher here and now living here, I see so much more of it. The way people live their lives, there's so many different elements to this country that are rich and interesting and fascinating, and you get to see that as a teacher here. Not only because of the duration you'll be staying is longer, but the areas you'll be are different, the city you'll be living in is different, but also at school you'll meet some great teachers and great students that will give you a real insight into this rich culture. So that for me is such an amazing opportunity. Coming from the UK and coming here, in my opinion, the culture is so much more rich and you get to really embrace it as a teacher in Thailand. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is another positive, and that is the lifestyle. This maybe is arguably the number one thing for me. It's the ability to be able to go out at any time of the day, not worry about a jacket or a raincoat or anything like that, to go to a restaurant and get a delicious plate of food for really, really cheap. The lifestyle is just so good. I am going to talk about money later, but generally the cost of living means you can do things, you can travel, you can eat out, you can go out with your friends, you can go to the cinema. And I remember back in the UK when I was living there in the spring of this year, 2024, it was just, everything was just a struggle, you know, to think, oh, okay, I can afford to do this, but I can't afford to do this. I can do this, but I can't do this. You're always making compromises. Of course, Thailand, you can't just afford to do everything, but the cost of living and the weather and the food and the people, just the whole lifestyle is so good. It's just relaxing and fantastic and just really, really nice. Having lived in the UK my whole life, lived as a teacher in Phetchabun and now in Chiang Mai as the marketing manager for Impact Teaching, I will hands down tell you my lifestyle here is so much better than it was in the UK, and it can be for you as a teacher too. The third positive, really kind of good thing about living in Thailand as a teacher is the connections that you will make. Apologies for all the cars coming past. The connections you'll make. Okay, let's start with the school. Okay, with your teachers, your the other foreign teachers. Sorry. So I currently live with a guy from Wales who I met in Phetchabun as a teacher, and he's become one of my closest friends, if not my closest friends. We live together, and that relationship, you know, is created through sharing the same experience at school and going through the good times, the bad times, the good times and the bad times together, and seeing each other every day. So you've got the other foreign teachers, and it's not just him. I'm still in contact with Filipinos and Americans, all of the people that I had this great experience with as a teacher. You've also got all the Thai teachers, like I mentioned earlier, who are an absolutely brilliant insight into the culture. If you make friends with them, they'll love to take you out to eat and to a temple and to show you this and to show you that. So these connections you make will make your experience so much better. And as a tourist in Thailand, you just don't get that. Of course, as well, you've got your students, which are just, they're amazing, okay? I'm trying to find the right words. But I still have students that follow me on Instagram and send me messages, and they'll be really special to you, but you will be so special to them, and you will potentially change their life and inspire them to learn English and to travel and make a real impact on them. So you've got all these special connections at school alone, and then you've got all the wonderful Thai people and people from across the world in these cities that, I've made friends, and, it's great. You really have the opportunity, and because of the good lifestyle, you are able to go out and meet people, whether you want to play football or, chess, anything, whatever you want to do, you can do it and meet people that share the same interests as you. So you can make really strong connections in Thailand. So we've talked about 3 things that are really positive. Let's go on to a few things that are less positive. So the first one I want to talk about for being a teacher in Thailand is the work culture. When I say work culture, it makes me think about, working really hard and loads of hours. It's not that I'm kind of going to discuss. It's more a lack of communication from the higher up down to the low. The information doesn't filter down very well. As a teacher, you will be possibly the last person to know about things and changes of plans, and that can be frustrating. A lack of organisation also can, be frustrating and kind of feel like you're banging your head against the wall sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. Whereas when I've worked in the UK, there's always fluid communication all the time, and you're notified of things well in advance, holidays or a lesson cancellation, you're always in the know. Whereas in a Thai school, this isn't always the case. Some are better than others, but it can be frustrating. The key to overcoming this is just accepting that this is the way it's done. It's not just for you, and you can't change it. You've just got to go with the flow, always be prepared, and don't take things personally. Just accept it is what it is. Let's go. Okay, so that is one negative aspect of working in Thailand, but I've given you a few tips on how to overcome it. For me, it didn't make the experience negative at all. It was quite interesting to see how different people in a different country work. So you can take a positive out of the negative. The second, slightly negative, it comes with some positives, element is money, okay? Because although I've said Thailand is so cheap, you can afford to eat out every day, 2 times, 3 times a day. You can afford to go out with friends and travel. Thailand is very much not free. And on a teacher's salary, although it's a brilliant salary, maybe 3 to 4 times more than someone on minimum wage is making in Thailand. Apologies about that. I was cut off by the local loudspeaker doing their announcement, so I come inside instead. Anyway, I was discussing money, okay, and the salary of a teacher in Thailand, although it is really good, like I've just said, it is not enough to save hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds and live your lifestyle. It is absolutely possible to live like Thai people do, a lot of Thai people, and save. That is doable. But if you're thinking this is going to be an absolutely kind of a money move where you're going to be able to save kind of £400-500 a month and live, that's just not going to happen. I want to be completely honest with you. The cost of living's low, but then again, the salary is lower. So on a salary of about 40,000, you can comfortably live, and you can comfortably go on holiday, and you can comfortably have a great quality of life and save enough to fly home when that time comes, but you won't be able to save lots and lots of money. So that is a slight negative. In places like China, money is a lot more easy to come by, and the cost of living doesn't quite equate. So you are able to save a lot. But in Thailand, that's not why I'm here. That's not hopefully why you're here. You're coming for the experience, not just for the money. And the last slightly negative thing that I want to talk about is the language. Because although lots of people do speak English, and in school you'll be able to speak to teachers and other foreigners in English, a lot of Thai people don't speak English or don't have that level that you can have a deep, meaningful conversation with. So it can be frustrating at times. It can, get you down at times. It's got me down. But I am currently learning Thai, and I'm finding it such a valuable, rich experience. And it's helping me in my daily life so much. Just to have short conversations with people outside, in the shop or in the restaurant or on the street with my neighbours. So the remedy to this issue is to learn as much as you can, but just accept that and be aware that it's not going to be exactly completely 100% easy with everyone speaking English. You do have to adapt and have some struggles at some points, in complete honesty, but these are absolutely small prices to pay for the lifestyle, the skills and experience you'll be having, the brilliant time in Thailand. So yeah, the language can be difficult, but it's so worth it. And if you learn a bit of Thai, you'll be onto a winner. Okay, so there you go. There's 3 really positive things about being a teacher in Thailand. And from my experience, 3 things that are more difficult and slightly negative. But they are by no means reasons that should stop you coming. I love it here. I'm having a great time, and you can too. So if you are interested in teaching in Thailand, check out the link down below in the description. And yeah, to see our programs all across the country, as well as further afield in China, Vietnam, Poland, and Hungary. My email is also down below if you have any questions at all. I'd be very happy to help. And if you've enjoyed this video, found it helpful, please leave a like and follow us. Thank you very much for your time. Sawadee krap, Jagan krap, bye bye krap.